Good morning.
Mr. Timothy Hammersmith, members of the head table, members of the media, distinguished guests, well wishers. Good morning. I am Philip Alexander, and I have the privilege of being the host of these proceedings. It is my pleasure to invite you to welcome you to the formal media launch of the Third Force Movement. The program today has been kept deliberately simple so as to focus on content. We shall have four contributions, followed by a question and answer segment for the media. After our closing, we shall also be spending time in informal gathering for more up-close conversation and exchange. It is the intention that the movement be accessible, open, and inclusive. I would now like to call to the podium someone who is well known to many of you from his many political and other national contributions, a dedicated champion in the search for a fairer electoral system, our chairman, Timothy Hammersmith.
So thank you, Philip, and welcome to the media. Welcome to all the people of the Third Force gathered here today in your numbers, spilling out of the room, as it were. Today is a groundbreaking moment in the political life of Trinidad and Tobago. The Third Force has been an idea long in coming, a political party of parties and independents, which is bursting out of the scenes at this time when we are witnessing the most brutish and nasty election campaign in Trinidad and Tobago. It is in this setting that the Third Force movement has decided we wish to transform our country. And if we want to do that, we must leave behind the politics of character assassination and focus on the issues, the policies and programs which will make a difference to the lives of our people in this nation of Trinidad and Tobago. Our citizens are asking, in what ways will our leaders improve the quality of our lives for the better? And instead, the politicians are focusing on themselves, simply navel-gazing rather than to satisfy the needs of the people. Today, the Third Force movement is here to let you know that together we can make a difference in Trinidad and Tobago. So who is the Third Force, you may ask? The Third Force are the multitude of citizens who are dissatisfied with the downward spiral of politics in Trinidad and Tobago. The Third Force are those of us who are crying out for an end to the corruption and violence which has enveloped the society. The Third Force are the undecided voters who are searching for a political vehicle and leaders who can make a difference in their lives. The Third Force is that group of almost or over 30% of the electorate who both major parties know represent the vote that will make the difference between winning and losing the election. They want your vote, but have no interest in what you, the Third Force movement, wants. Today we say the Third Force, it is time to awaken to the power that you wield in this election. If you unite with us, the Third Force movement promises to be the voice which will represent your interests. We want to hear from you. Tell us what your concerns are. Share with us your ideas on how together we can transform Trinidad and Tobago. Today, in response to your yearning for change, the Third Force movement offers itself as a vehicle to take citizens forward for a better Trinidad and Tobago. If you want fair play, the Third Force movement is here for you. If you have wanted equal opportunity to succeed, the Third Force movement is here for you. If you yearn for fulfillment in your life, the Third Force movement is here for you. And so you rightly ask, how will the Third Force movement make a difference? What are your plans to transform Trinidad and Tobago? Will Trinidad and Tobago ever fulfill its potential? Will the Third Force join the crowd that says, we like it so? Or will we simply throw up our hands in despair? The Third Force movement says, as long as we have life, we have hope. The longest journey begins with the first step. Journey with us to lift your country up. Help us to ensure that Trinidad and Tobago fulfills its unique potential. So where do we start? The Third Force movement says we have to deal with the ills that plague our society, starting at the very top. Over the years, we have created a system of winner take all and devil take the hindmost. Is it any wonder that so many of us are catching our proverbial tails? We keep going around in circles, spiraling downwards to the point that we are now on the brink in Trinidad and Tobago. Our politicians seek to divide us by race, to fan the flames of ethnic division, unconcerned as to the damage they are doing to our beloved country. Our politicians pursue a scorched earth policy which leaves all devastated at the end of the day. No country on earth can hope to develop unless a critical mass of people agree to follow a single vision. Our tribal politics, however, threatens to tear us apart. At the end of the day, whoever wins gains the spoils of victory, and the rest of the population is made to suffer. And so the policy of the opposition is always to make our country ungovernable while they wait until it is we time again. And alas, the same process begins over and over again. You've experienced that over the last 20 years. It is in this setting that the Third Force movement says that it is critical that we bring an end to the politics of division and the politics of patronage. Starting with patronage at the very top. If our leaders fail to show by example that honesty and fair play is essential to how business should operate, how can we ever expect the followers that will adopt a different model? The time is short. We must intervene now. The Third Force movement, Third Force itself, must awaken from its slumber. We need to stand up and make our due. If we fail to do so, the fabric of our society will be torn apart. You can make a difference. And so the Third Force movement says that the three foundation blocks which are essential to the transformation of Trinidad and Tobago are the implementation of our procurement legislation, the introduction of party and campaign financing, and the reform of our electoral system so that it's fair and honors democratic principles. So, first of all, the implementation of procurement legislation. Why is it important? You see, procurement legislation has the potential to transform both our politics and our development of Trinidad and Tobago. It means that we will have open, competitive tendering by which goods, services, and works are delivered to the people in an effective and efficient manner while achieving the best value for money. All persons will then have an equal opportunity to be successful, and the country wins. A win-win for all, which is expected to save our country some over $6 billion. Think for a moment how many roads, hospitals, and schools can be built with the money saved. And then we go on to the second item, the introduction of party and campaign financing, which will bring an end to the investment in party politics for the sole purpose of getting a return if the party you finance wins an election. Such a system distorts the democratic electoral system and robs the people and the country. Indeed, the country would probably save money if in the final analysis the state provided the parties year-round to cover their expenses of running the party, hiring consultants to develop policy, instead of Mauvelang and Bacchanal, which has become the hallmark of our politics. And then we go to the third foundation stone, a fair and democratic electoral system suited to Trinidad and Tobago. We believe that a mixed form of proportional representation is a system which will best address the shortcomings of our electoral system. However, we understand that such a change will require a three-quarter majority in the Parliament. And that is not something we are likely to succeed with in the foreseeable future. So we are realists. In the meantime, we demand a fair electoral system, a system which can be introduced by a simple majority vote in our Parliament. The international benchmark recognizes that if 12% of the electorate is unrepresented, then the electoral system is broken and has to change. Since 1981, we have broken that benchmark here in Trinidad and Tobago. It is since that time our claim to being a democratic country is merely a facade behind which we hide. The third force demands fairness and true democracy in our electoral system. And so we say, let's stand up for democracy. And it is in that context we say to all the political parties that are seeking the votes of the third force, that are seeking your vote, what are your policies on the three foundation blocks which together have the potential to change the political and financial landscape of Trinidad and Tobago. Today we present a quick overview of the difference which the Third Force movement will make in your lives. In the weeks ahead, we will unveil our policies and programs on how we can help to achieve better quality of life, how we can work together to transform Trinidad and Tobago. We urge you, the Third Force, to wake up to your potential, the power that resides in your vote, the vote that all the major political parties want, but don't want to know what you want. The Third Force movement can be that vehicle for change that you want to see in your country. Let us stand up today and be counted, because the best is yet to come. And so, may the force be with you. And may Almighty God bless and protect Trinidad and Tobago, and each of you are fellow citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. We thank you.